Hello again, everyone. In this technical analysis of the stock market video, I call it surging metals question mark because that's what we're going to take a look at in addition to the Nasdaq today. We're going to look at gold, silver, and the gold miners. I am looking for one more surge to the upside in here, and we'll look at that and talk about that. All right, first I want to talk about the Nasdaq Composite. So here's a daily view of the Nasdaq Composite. Big strong move on Friday. It was up 57.32, continued to push higher. It definitely intraday got above the intraday high in September. It is the highest close since July. And the Nasdaq 100 closed at a new all-time high. So right now the Nasdaq Composite, which is of course a lot broader than the Nasdaq 100, is playing a little catch-up, but it sure looks and acts like that's what it wants to do. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. For the week, it was up 153 points, and you can see here's the view, here's what it looks like. And for the week, there's only two other weeks that closed higher at any time, and just slightly higher, 1 point higher on July 7th, and then of course you had the week of July 21st. So that's the picture there. I'm going to go back to the daily, but then I want to go over here and take a look at make sure I get the right picture. Actually, I want this, the view. This is what I'm looking at. This is the bullish scenario that I've got on the Nasdaq Composite. This scenario says that we have indeed got a wave 4 completed and that we're off and running in a wave 5. You know, we've been watching the market and have been dilly-dallying around all the indices down in this area, chopping sideways in here and creating a lot of confusion. I mean, either you're going to take out the highs or you're going to take out the lows and collapse. And right now, you have to lean to the high side the way the market's acting right now. And so my best interpretation of what's going on here is that we're doing an ending diagonal pattern, okay? And in Elliott wave perspective, an ending diagonal is all the 5 waves need to be zigzags, okay? So, you know, one of the things I thought, well, okay, could this be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're in one final 5th move in here? That would mean that we're very close to ending all of this move. But that made this very, very short wave 3, and I really didn't like that. So right now, the way I've got this structured is like this. And I think that this is going to, you know, if we continue to push higher up into here, we'll be looking for wave C to complete and complete the 3rd wave. And then, of course, when you're in an ending diagonal pattern, wave 4 needs to overlap wave 1. Now, in the regular impulsive wave structure, 4 does not overlap 1, but when you're in a diagonal pattern, it does overlap, okay? So that's what we'll be watching for right now. This continues to push higher. All right, let's take a look at gold, and I'm going to pull that chart up. GLD was up 33 cents on Friday. It gapped up at the open and then just kind of sold back down and then rallied back a little bit during the day. So you can see what it was doing in here. You know, this has been struggling to try to turn. It's taken a long time. I do think the 4th wave ended in here. So this is the wave count that I've got, and that is right here. This is what I think is going on, that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got a 5th wave. We've got one more push, which should be 5 waves, could be an ending diagonal pattern, but, you know, again, you know, even an ending diagonal is going to be 5 waves, but that's what we're looking for. So right now, I'm looking for this to continue pushing higher. The reason I've got that just to show you the direction. I can get rid of that so it doesn't clutter it too much. I can always highlight it like that. But that is the direction where I think we're going. And we'll see how this unfolds. You know, a lot of times the 5th wave becomes extended, but wave 3 was barely, I'm not even sure it was longer than wave 1 when I measure it. So we'll watch and see what do we get in here. When I look at the weekly view of this is the bigger picture. Of course, now there's a lot of noise in there. Got to get rid of some of the wave counts to get rid of that. So what I think we're doing is a big A, B, C, move to complete a B wave of a big zigzag, okay? And why do I think that? Because this first move down from 2011 was a nice 5-wave move, which says this is the direction that you're going in. And now we're getting a 3-wave, and that second wave was a big sideways triangle, wave B, and now we're into this last leg up. And when this last leg completes, then we'll be turning down. But right now, my focus is the push higher. Okay, so that's what we're looking for in here. And again, let's see, where's the detail? Yeah, okay, so we've got it in there now. Let's take a look at silver. You know, the interesting thing about silver, when we look at SLV, the ETF for silver, is it really, I was waiting for gold to really break out, but silver didn't do anything until this last week, okay? We started to pop on Tuesday, and then we went Thursday, Friday, the breakout, okay? And I've got this trend line in here because that is, why is it doing that? Yeah, that's fine. You can see what I'm talking about. It's breaking that trend line and it's pushing higher. I like when I see silver and gold in sync in terms of making the move. So that's what I'm looking for in here. If we go to the Elliott wave picture, and again, I want to make sure that I'm grabbing the right scenario. This is it. I think that we're in a 5-wave move up. We had a very strong wave 3 in here in SLV, and now we had this wave 4 pull back. And now I think just like what I just talked about on gold, looking for this to take off and finish off in 5 waves. So right now they seem to be in sync. We'll watch and see how far this wants to push up. Let's take a look at GDX, the gold miners. Okay, so GDX was taking its time. You notice how the pattern is not the same as like on silver, and it just kept coiling and coiling down and just like didn't want to break out. I'd had this trend line drawn for quite a while. Finally, we got the breakout on Friday, okay? Now, I would have loved to have seen back-to-back big white bullish candles. What do those mean? They mean when it's white, it means that the close was higher than the open, okay? So this is an up candle, okay? This was an up day. It was up 22 cents. But the close was below the open, so that's why it's colored dark, okay? So that's the picture here. This is what I'm looking for. Here's the breakout. I am thinking that GDX is going to push higher with gold and silver. And I do think that wave 4 here on GDX has completed. When we look at the wave structure, again, similar scenario to what I'm looking at with gold. GDX did a different B wave. It did not do a big sideways B wave. It did a more of a sharp pullback. Let me show you just real quick. This is what I'm talking about in terms of an A, B, C. Okay, this is what the B wave was. GDX was doing this chopping sideways for well over a year. But now I think we're into this 5-wave, wave C, and looking for this to finish, looking for it to complete. Let's go back to the daily. And here's what I'm focusing on. See how wave 2 pulled back 50%? Wave 4 pulled back 38%. That's classic. That's a classic pullback. I think it's a triangle type pattern in here. It fits the pattern perfectly. And now we're taking off. We really need to see follow through. Okay. This is what I think is happening. This is the push, and this is what I'm expecting. Looking for this to take out this high, which is what, 28.38, and then the next test is going to be up here at 29.58, and then of course this high up here at 30.96. I really am expecting that to be broken if we continue to push the way we're looking for it to push. Okay, that's it for this weekend. So right now, looking for gold and silver and the gold miners to be surging. Looking for that to continue next week. We'll see what happens. All right, if you felt like the video was helpful, hit the like button. And if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. And let me go back to, where is it? Let me go back to gold because for whatever reason, I didn't have this on GDX. So if you would like to have more of this kind of information on a daily basis, head on over to joehenches.net and check it out. There's a free subscription over there as well as the membership. All right, everyone, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you on the next video.